Hey, my name is Gytis. I'm a UX designer, and this is how my typical day looks like. I usually wake up somewhere between 8 and 9 in the morning. It's not really early or late, but this is just the time that fits for me. And I don't really beat myself if I don't fit in that time schedule, because if I had a really tough day before that, then I allowed myself to sleep a little bit more. And this is the advantage of working remotely, obviously. The second thing that really makes me happy in the morning after having a good night's sleep is having a good cup of coffee. I have my coffee in bed, and as I'm drinking my coffee, we're talking with my wife usually, I also try to imagine what my day will entail, or essentially what tasks do I have ahead of me. I can either scribble them down on a piece of paper or just have them in my head. And this sort of visualization about things that are waiting for me really helps me to structure my day and prepare myself for anything that's really waiting for me. Somewhere between having a good cup of coffee and then going to exercise, I also spend at least 15 or 30 minutes reading a book. I have a few books that are laying on my bed table, and I just pick any of those and I just at least try to read at least 15 or 30 minutes a day. I know it does not sound like a lot, but I much prefer to read every day a little bit rather than spending hours on reading during the weekends. So that's just the way that I go about it. Because I like to have a little bit more time in the morning, I like to spending time with my wife and just planning the day, and this is our kind of golden hours. It takes me quite a bit of a time. So around somewhere 9:30 or so, this is the time that I leave the bed finally and I go on to do my exercising. Usually exercise somewhere between 15 minutes and an hour, kind of depending on how much time I have, how much energy I have. And again, I don't really put myself into a corner saying that I have to work out for an hour really hardcore or anything like that. Again, I much prefer to focus on the routine and having the habit of doing it every day rather than really forcing myself to do like a longer workouts, and this would not really put me in a good sort of mood or positive attitude. After a good workout, I hit the shower, I dress up, get ready for the day, hopefully looking better than I did when I woke up. Then it's time for breakfast. I usually have eggs for my breakfast because that keeps me filled up for a longer period of time. And I think it's usually a good idea to start with some proteins rather with some carbs. So that way I don't have these afternoon energy crashes. From 12 till 2 is usually my productive time where I solve my most crucial tasks, and I usually prioritize those by looking at what people are waiting on me to do. And because I don't like to be a bottleneck, I get those things out of the way first thing in the day. So that usually takes me about a couple hours. After that, I have a coffee break with my wife. I just make another great cup of coffee. We take some time to relax, reassemble ourselves. And then my second part of the working schedule is between 2 and 4. During that period of time, I usually talk with my team, usually talk with clients, kind of plan of what we're gonna work ahead. And this is just a time when we, have all the meetings in one place. Then it's the late lunch time for me, where I have any sort of meat or fish dish that is, again, a little bit more filling, but has some sort of carbs in it, so I get a little bit more energy for the rest of the day. Then it's my last chunk of time to do some work. From 5 till 8, I have my focus time, where I try to work on my personal projects, work with clients on something that they need help on, brainstorm on new ideas on how we can develop the business. Anything goes in that time. But this is the time that I really try to focus and not have as many meetings anymore. From 8 till 9, this is my late dinner time, and we usually prepare something together with my wife. It could be, usually it's fish or pasta dish or anything else that we can find in the fridge really, but it's much lighter than we previously had it in the day because we want to obviously go to bed, so it does not make sense to have really full meal at that point. Once we have the dinner, then it's the winding down period. So usually we spend time with my wife just talking how our day went along, But sometimes if I'm in the mood, I could go to my woodworking shop to work on some sort of project, just to relax and think about something completely different. In other cases, I play guitar, try to practice some sort of scales. So essentially, I do anything else that I have not done throughout the day. I try to think about something else. I try to, be in a different place, and that just helps me to relax, wind down, and get ready to go to bed. And usually the last thing that we do just before, falling asleep is we again meet with my wife. We always go together, to bed, and we either watch some sort of series, read some books, or just sit in bed and just talk about how our day went along. And that's usually the end of my day. And that's how my day in the life of a UX designer looks like. It has a lot of flexibility. I can change it up as I like it, depending on the project, on the mood, on our personal priorities. And this is the beauty of working remotely and having your own business. I hope you enjoy the journey, and thanks for watching.